been being kind of lazy lately, and I haven't. I haven't really been putting videos out. I haven't really been putting or doing much of anything as far as my channel goes, which is shame on me. I've been working in my yard. I've been working on my daughter's car or truck a little bit. The 51 was a project that I started to work on kind of before, maybe at the beginning of this whole Boys Customs start thing. I should probably, well, I wish I didn't have a tarp over it and maybe it was all complete right now. The radiator, the grill, the bumper, all that stuff came off. I had to do a little bit of straightening up here. I'm going to have to weld a little piece of metal on here. I don't think that this is the original fender for the car. I thought it was pretty original, but I think maybe because this color doesn't match the original green over there underneath. And I know it was painted blue at some point, but this is black. Do they make repot steel for these? I don't know. I've never really looked because this car is in fantastic shape. There's no rust holes anywhere on the entire car. I guess I should start out by saying, kind of back up here. This is my 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Business Coupe that I bought off my grandfather's estate. He had the car since I guess the early 2000s, and I think it was maybe 5-ish years ago now that he passed away. And man, time flies, it's crazy. And anyway, he had this car, which is purple. I'm not crazy about purple, but what are you gonna do? He had this car that I got, and I was like, well, I really like the car. And when he passed away, I gave them a price of what I could pay for it, and took quite a while, and then they accepted it, and meaning the executor of the will accepted it, and because I really wanted maybe just a piece of my grandfather. My grandfather's kind of a car guy, and I remember him talking to me about this car and said he was going to buy it, and anyway, so I always really liked the car. I thought it was really cool. 51 Chevrolet Business Coupe. How many do you see like that? I guess it's the Sport Coupe, but with less trim. Anyway, it turns out that the car has only about 8,000 miles on it, from what I can see. And when you look at the pedals and everything, and the interior and what it looks like and how clean it is, I'm really starting to believe that that's true. The motor is the original 216 inline 6, the old stove bolt 6. The problem with the motor, not that there's a real big problem with it. I mean, it runs and drives, but it's not great. It overheats. I did put a new water pump on it last year, new gas tank. Rebuilt the carburetor, oil change, all that kind of stuff. You know, just trying to clean it up a little bit, but it's still kind of just oily and dingy and gross. It leaks everywhere because the gaskets are old cork gaskets, and it just leaks from everywhere. So I thought about, oh, what could I do? What could I do? You know, this and that. And then on a local classifieds ad, there was a 235 inline 6 that has, maybe I'll pop a video in here, but it has all the goodies that you would want in a 235 really. It's got the Offenhauser intake, the Offenhauser push rod cover. It's got the Offenhauser valve cover, and it's the old school valve cover. The guy who built it must have wanted it to look like the original stove bolt, because he's got the stove bolt intake on it, or valve cover, even though the valve cover didn't quite match. So he got some sort of an adapter kit, and anyway, it looks very similar to the original stove bolt, and so that's what I picked it up for a pretty good price. I never could have built it. It also has Fenton dual exhaust, but I picked it up for a pretty good price, and so I kind of decided, since it's compatible with my 3-speed 3-on-the-tree transmission, and my torque tube and all that will remain for now, I figured I would pull this motor out and put that one in there. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do as far as radiator goes. I know there's an aluminum one that looks stock that I'd like to get and paint black, but it's kind of expensive. But as far as all this goes, it's a pretty nice car, and it's very original. And I know you guys are thinking, why am I chopping up an original car? Well, it's mine, and I think my grandfather would rather I enjoyed it than kept it in the garage and never touched it or whatever, because it doesn't go very far. Like I drive it to the next town over and it overheats, and it's a 95 or 100 degrees out. So I think this is just one step into making it more drivable and more enjoyable. I should mention, I guess, that the new motor also has the dual single barrel carburetors. I'm just kind of going for like an old school, kind of more original, hopped up a little bit, kind of a look and a feel, I guess. I'd like this to be kind of maybe my hot rod. And I know you're like, well, a 235 ain't very powerful. Well, you're right, it's not. I just want to be able to cruise it around, enjoy it, have some fond memories of my grandfather, and really just enjoy it. At some point in the future, I've kind of played around with the idea of putting a 4x4 S10 rear end in the back and swapping out the transmission for like an overdrive automatic transmission. But I want to be able to maintain the original shifter aesthetics in the car, on the tree. So if I can manage to somehow fabricate something to where I can get it to be an automatic shifter versus the 3-on-the-tree. Maybe one of you guys has an idea, or maybe you guys have seen somebody who's done it. That would be great. If you just throw it down in the comment section there. Really, this is just all over the place. I have no real script. I'm just talking. Really, what I guess this next little series is going to be is taking this motor out, cleaning up the engine bay, spraying it underhood black, Eastwood's underhood black, and then putting the new motor in. I need to clean up the transmission. When I pull it out, I'm going to pull it out in one unit, engine, transmission. I'm going to take the transmission apart, or not all the way. I just want to reseal the seals in the transmission, because like the engine, it leaks a lot, and so I just want to seal that up. I also need to address my master cylinder, because it was a little leaky, and I'd have to add some brake fluid here and there, kind of pump it back up, and then the brakes would work great for a while. But then kind of towards the end of me using it last summer, it was like I fill it up once, drive to cruise night, park it, drive back, and it's already getting a little bit of fade. So it's really leaking. And at that point I was like, well, this is too dangerous. just decided that it was too dangerous and that I'm going to have to upgrade to a dual master cylinder, dual reservoir master cylinder. So at some point, I got to find the cash, and it's about $300 or so, to get a kit to adapt it to that. I'm going to leave the drum brakes on the front because I don't know where I'm going as far as the front end goes. There's a lot of upgrades you can do, but it seems like the most popular, realistic maybe upgrade to make it safe, make it drivable, make it so I can cruise anywhere, is probably going to be a Mustang 2 front end on it. However, I don't have the cash for that right now, obviously. I'm not rolling in the dough, or else you guys would see me doing like a full frame off restoration, maybe doing some crazy crap on here, but nope, I'm just doing this so that it's a little bit more drivable, a little bit more usable, and eventually just kind of upgrading things as I go, as I get money, as I, I mean, you guys know I have, well, several projects anyway, vehicle projects and things. So basically right now I haven't unhooked any of the motor mounts. As of the other day, I disconnected the fuel line, I disconnected all the electronics, I've taken the battery out, obviously the radiator's missing, and I'm just going to slide it right out the front. I think that's going to be the easiest for me. I just basically have to disconnect the shift linkage and the clutch linkage, and then undo the motor mounts and something to do with the torque tube. I've never really dealt with one of these before, the torque tube I mean, so I'm going to have to figure that out and figure out how to take that off the transmission, decouple that, and then I'll be ready to pull it out. So hopefully you guys can join in with me on this. There may be another video or two of the Bonanza before I really share many more videos about this. I'm going to try to record a little bit more, but like I said, I kind of took apart the front end kind of before I started doing the Bonanza, because I was in here in the wintertime last February, and now it's almost July, so I was in here kind of tinkering, started taking it all apart, took the radiator out, took all this stuff apart, and then just kind of didn't really record much in the process. There's kind of a video here, video there. I don't want to have to share those videos. I just want to give you guys a quick update on the project. Like I said, I'll show you the motor. I've got you've probably seen a clip of the motor at the beginning of Boys Customs, the intro right there. You've seen it. That's what's going in here. So, I'd really appreciate it if I could get over 100 subscribers and maybe give me a little bit more enthusiasm to get cracking on more projects and more videos for you guys. So if you guys could seriously subscribe and maybe go back and check out some of my other videos, because I think you'll like them. I've got the 67 Chevy over here, Nacho. This is Eva. My wife named it Eva. So you might not hear it again. You might hear it again. This is Eva. 1951 Chevrolet Styleline Business Coupe. The interior is very original. I'll show you guys that on another episode. Maybe when I get the motor in and get it running and stuff, I can do like a serious walk around. The paint's not great, so we'll clean that up in a future episode also on Boys Custom. So please like, please subscribe, give me some support, show me some love, and I'd appreciate it. And you guys have a good one, eh?